Packing up. Finally. I don't know. Big change is coming. On my way to Colombia, maybe Brazil. Change the plans. Let's see how it goes. Out here at Wharton, about to get some work done, ready to make the moves, take my ass to Colombia, see what
Sometimes I don't listen to my body. My body may be saying, take a day off.
So if you're in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You got to start walking because the perspective's not going to change. You have to start moving forward. You have to start taking steps in order to improve your vision, improve your perspective, change your perspective, make some kind of progress. And worst case scenario, you figure out that you walked the wrong direction. Okay, now you can go walk in the other direction. And that's going to be fine. But standing there lost and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Don't let that happen.
When you're suffering or you're lazy or you're procrastinating, doing something that's harder than the state that you're in bounces you back much faster. Yes. This is all based in the dynamics of dopamine. It's sort of crazy. If you know how people are procrastinating to write something or just, and they start cleaning the house, something they normally don't want to do. Well, it's just something that's easier than the thing that you're supposed to do.
Right.
It turns out, and I learned this from Anna, if you do something that's even harder than the thing that you're trying to avoid, all of a sudden you're able to do that. And you're like, oh, okay, well, it's just psychology, right? No, it's not psychology alone. It's psychology, but it's once dopamine is deployed at that level, you're a different person.
People don't ever get to see behind the curtains of what happens. They just see the show in front.
But don't make me laugh. I'm living in America, and in America, you're on your own. America's not a country. It's just a business. Now fucking pay me.
At 9 a.m. I'm going to meet you at the gym. You're going to be at the gym at 9 a.m. just because you don't want to let him down. But if you tell yourself tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm going to be at the gym, you're not going to show up. You're going to be late. Why? Because it's you.
Don't tell yourself you need to do something and then don't do it. Time to train at that time. Set a time to go to sleep at that time. Set a time to get up at that time.
If you say you're going to the gym 5 times a week, you go to the gym 5 times a week. If you say you read 75 minutes a day, you must read 75 minutes a day. Because every day that you miss, it will just weaken your mind.
The discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in the sports, but in the life.
You can't be motivated anymore. You don't need others to motivate you. You have to be self-motivated.
You have to learn to perform without motivation.
Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do. The more discipline you have in your life, the more freedom you will end up with. If you have self-discipline, if you have the discipline to save your money and work hard and invest your money properly, if you have the discipline to manage your time correctly and not waste a bunch of time, if you have the discipline to exercise and eat healthy, you will end up with freedom.
It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. The problem is you. And you don't want to fix it.
The fight and the battle every day is between me versus me. When I wake up in the morning and I wake up late, and I'm talking about if I'm supposed to wake up at 3 and I woke up at 4:30, I'm upset with myself. I hate myself that day. I'm disgusted by myself. You have to get to a point that when you do something in life that is out of your routine, you're actually disgusted by who you are. You feel like you have no place in this world anymore, which means the next day you're gonna get it done and you're gonna be right on time.
Do it and do it and do it and do it. That's the hack.
Every morning when you get up, say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. I do it now, do it now. Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command, do it now, do it now, do it now. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly. Be the kind of person who launches fast on a task.
If you are able to get up every morning, have no passion, no drive, no motivation, no shit, and still get up with that kind of fire, you will be successful in life. I guarantee you that. Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings gotta go away if you want to achieve greatness. And greatness is only achieved when your feelings about that kind of shit, and let me say that kind of shit, so for those soft people who may be listening to this, don't put words in my mouth. I'm not talking about your fucking family and all that shit. I'm talking about the grind, the fucking grind. Your feelings have to go away.
Everybody says discipline is so important, but they never want to tell you why. I'll tell you why discipline is so important. It's the strongest form of self-love. It's ignoring something you want right now for something better later on. Discipline reveals the commitment you have to your dreams, especially on days where you don't want to. The future you is depending.
Yo, no matter the situation, man, we be talking this passport gang, travel, and getting resituated overseas. It's a real thing, man. It's a real option. First things first, man, get your passport. Get your passport. And just put it in the drawer, man. Until you're ready to make the move. But at least you got your papers where you can get up out of here, you know? But travel is definitely the way for black men. I highly recommend it. I went to Panama for my birthday. It was a great time. There's a lot of American expats over in Panama, man. It remind you of, it got a Miami feel, like Miami in the 80s, early 90s feel down there. The architecture and everything. So, you know, but I can't recommend it more enough. Brothers, get out, travel, get your passports. Go see the world. Things is tightening up in America. It's crazy.
Matters for conclave. So for class 6, I only teach students who go to the conclave. That, generally speaking, has been my requirement. And the reason is because we need to see who you are. We need to interact with you. And if you talk to me in person and you talk to other students in person, it is more likely that you're going to pass the class. And in particular, that you'll continue the class. So I want students who get jobs. I want them to have $120,000 minimum, ideally $150,000 minimum coming out of the class and being confident of what they're doing and having a career where they can grow, have the foundations for it. I consider that to be passing the class. And students, a lot of times, are focusing on me, and I'm like, I'm just helping you. I'm an enabler. There's an entire environment that you need to be, where you need to be engaging. And I'm just one part of that environment. If you're not a part of the entire environment, you won't get the job. So I'm trying to get you into that job. Now, in order to get the job, you have to have skills, and you need to be able to pass an interview. And the interview is going to be a few people. And of course, you're not going to get the first job. So you're going to have to know, you have to have the ability to be adaptive and change and learn. And you have to accept failure. That's one of the big things in the class. You have to accept failure. In the classes, again, I have many of my students in the chat, they can testify to this. I reward failure because the ultimate failure is not trying. So I want you to try and fail and embrace that failure.
Can I stop you real fast? Dude,
learn from it. Because my successes are all built on the foundation of failure. Mass failures. Horrible failures. But I would not be the person I am today without failure.
You know what I'm saying? He takes aspects and traits of people that he likes and he incorporates. Like how he's all vocal now on doing the podcast with International Passport and all that shit. That's because I started having him over on Machismo. You know, pick up the truck, move his shit into storage.
I feel like he's kind of, what's that when he has some oil?
No, that's what I'm saying. He's being self-conscious and overthinking things.
No, I see it now. I was looking at the license plate.
Perfect. That's more than enough space. Perfect. Good. Pull it up.
It's up to you. The ball's in your fucking court. No more fucking around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you. Ari can't help you. God can't fucking help you. Only you can fucking help you. Grab your fucking balls, get a fucking notebook, and write down what the fuck you're gonna do this year. And this is it. You're not gonna have these problems. Fuck the drugs. Fuck the cigarettes. Fuck that dumb bitch. It all starts fucking today, all right? No more fucking excuses.
You're not even motivated yourself. Like I want to wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, come on, man, we're going running. Like I want to see what you do when you're tired. Let me see how you push yourself. Come on, man, get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. The next day, get up. Keep going. How long can you maintain a positive attitude? Where's all this teaching? You're teaching people. You can't do shit yourself.
Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings got to go away. If you want to achieve greatness. And greatness is only achieved when your feelings about that kind of shit. And let me say that kind of shit. So for those soft people who may be listening to this, don't put words in my mouth. I'm not talking about your fucking family and all that shit. I'm talking about the grind. The fucking grind.
It is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their fucking notifications because they can't stick with shit. They can't say no.
Motivation is crap. It's people right now, maybe listen to this shit, they be motivated to go run. If it's cold somewhere where they're at, allow them to shut that door, go back inside. That's motivation. It comes and go as how you feel. If you and your wife are good, if you and your kids are good, if you're good at work, you're motivated. I like a motherfucker whose life is imploded, ain't got shit in life, and says, I still gotta get after it today, man.
If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough. When you're sick and tired of looking and feeling like shit, you'll show up, motherfucker. I'll see you there. Because you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to be like, fuck that. You're going to want to be in the gym.
You cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. No matter what it is. Many times you say to yourself, I gotta lose weight, I'm too fat. And then you know what? During the day you eat at night, and then next day you get mad at yourself. Well, what do you want? What do you want? You gotta change something.
Be a dangerous man. Now, being dangerous is not being a threat. They're two different things. All right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting a bunch of tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest and shoulders up, hulking around saying, I'm dangerous. That's very rarely is that a dangerous man. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
But I had this fire that I'm going to be somebody. And it has to be there because on all those bad days, on all those days you don't want to do shit, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. So to do that, you have to come into work, and work is whatever your work may be, ready to go. And what that means is you may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work like, people like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you just fucking damn motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what the fuck it takes. And you got to get it from wherever you can. Whether you make up this illusion of your life or this false reality that gets you motivated, whatever gets you motivated, it's got to be here at the tip of your brain at all times. Because in those dark moments, you got to pull it out. So that's the big thing for me, man. I was always fired up at all times.
There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, they were childhood buddies, whatever else. They didn't have what you had.
The secondary thing I teach them is what I specialize in, which is DevSecOps, which is security in the DevOps environment.
Right.
And then I teach them cloud security architecture, which is making architectures in the cloud for applications with security points in them and how to do the enforcement. With the advanced class that I have, I teach a CISSP for, this one I tell you, I teach CISSP for free,
For
the advanced students, this, if you guys look at boot camps for CISSP, they're usually around $4,000 or $5,000 minimum per person.
You teach it for free?
I teach it for free.
Bruh.
Yeah. So in there, I teach advanced topics like management, advanced security operations centers, audit, compliance. I taught Sarbanes-Oxley today with what of IT security and systems, why it's necessary, the audit, the compliance. I'm doing much more advanced stuff next year, and I use some materials I got from SANS from my other courses.
Okay.
So I do give them top level education and materials. So I kind of combine those together. I'm like, this is how you guide the technical process, but then if you're senior, this is how you do the management, and then this is how you deal with the CISOs, the CTOs. This is again like the whole process. So I'm basically teaching them how to be, like, if they're doing security, I teach them how to be one of my replacements.
Succession planning. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And it has, I'm just straight out, to the guys who are serious, who are following my instruction, those guys were unbeatable. And one of the things I keep on telling them, based upon the red pill, is, again, you're gonna agree with this, you need to be so good that success comes for you.
Yeah.
If you're chasing success, this isn't gonna work. So if you're chasing women, if you're doing cold approach, it's usually not going, it can work, but not so much. But if the girls are coming after you, it's 100% success rate, right?
Right.
Yeah, so what you want is, you want the companies to recruit you. You don't want to be sending applications, because if you're sending applications, nobody cares. And then if you do get picked up amazingly, normally your salary is $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 less. But if the company has to fight for you to get you, they have to pay top dollar for you.
And they're not going to try the negotiation game. They're going to come in the door with their best offer from the gate, and have a little in reserve just in case. They'll get on the phone with executive management and be like, we need this guy or this. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're like, hey, look, I was at 155 before, I need 165 for you. They'll make the conversation like, okay, we can do 165. So I teach that to the class, and I keep saying, you cannot apply for a job, because that's you begging Keisha for a date. You need to be so good and position yourself in the right position, so that Maria comes and recruits you. You want Maria to be in front of you with a low blouse and a high miniskirt and heels, with her hair all properly, looking at you like, hey, I'm available.
Hey, let me ask you.
That's how
is Maria a blonde Brazilian?
I was just thinking Maria was either Maria was Thai or Maria was dark-haired Brazilian. That's
dark-haired Brazilian. I got you. Shout out to dark-haired Brazilian. You look something like this.
Nani? Jangling.
Shout out to the dark-haired Brazilians. Man. So for let me make this very clear, team, and I want you to hear me. Theo has let you all know that he is only accepting people for his Class 6, which is going to start when, Theo?
After the conclave, so it'll be September 10th. Actually,
September
the first class will be at the conclave.
Okay, right, like we did last year.
Right.
Right, okay. He is only taking students that come to the Black Manosphere Conclave in Houston, September 6th, 7th, and 8th, correct? Do I have the dates right? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
7 and 8.
I will be there. Richie Mack will be there. Theo just had a conversation with somebody that I know that I really hope is able to be there. And speaking of Richie Mack, shout out to the Travel OG, yeah. Just dropped us a super chat. Theo, Richie, I'm letting Theo rock and roll, man. I'm gonna get to all the super chats, show y'all some love, but I need Theo to get this information out. So where can they go? It's blackmanosphere.org, right?
Yeah, so the International Quiet Storm is posting it on there.
Thank you, TIQS.
So as I said on BGS before, I'm intentionally obtuse.
As you should be.
I'm like, if you want it, you'll search for it and you'll find it, and that actually comes from the Matrix.
Right.
So if you're looking for it, you'll find the way. And if it's not, if you think that this is something easy that you can just get, you're not going to work for it. So I'm like, nah, you got to work for it. But if you do, and you show me that you're actually working, I'll work with you to actually do this. Now, guys, again, I have some of my students probably come up and talk after this. This is something where we have to work. And I just want to say, this isn't easy. This is hard. There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of reading. I make you use Udemy. I make you take tests. I make you do projects. You have to do projects together with people. I say sometimes, like, you have to do a group homework versus an individual homework.
Right.
And that's to socialize you for the office. I'm preparing you for battle. And I say, this is the way it has to be. And there are guys in there who say, like, I don't want to do work with a group. And I tell them, like, well, you don't want to work in a corporation, because in a corporation, you're working in a group.
Facts.
So if you want $150,000 a year with a corporation working remote, you better learn how to work with people, or this isn't going to happen. I don't know how many guys have had quit on that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them like, are you nuts? The next one is, again, as we've talked about this. Okay, there are guys who have never used a computer before. They don't have one.
Listen, team.
And yeah, you need to listen to this one. They've never used a computer before. They never had one, and they want to do cloud computing. And what I have found is that these people, although you don't have to have a background in IT, you need to know how to use a computer. And using a computer is something I usually don't teach, because it's something, you're an American citizen, it's the 21st century, you should know how to use a computer. There is a significant amount of guys who don't know how to use a computer at all. They don't know how to Google, they don't know how to copy and paste, nothing. They don't know how to make a folder, nothing. They can't install an application, zero. So what I'm doing now is I'm making like a basics course, so that they actually have to take Udemy's and actually do the basics within computing, within computers. You need to know how to use your computer that you buy, because if you can't use your computer, you can't do computing. It's just not going to happen. You can't do cloud work. It's just impossible. So what I'm doing now is I'm going back and I'm like, if you quit the class or you're having a hard time, you need to do this basic course first to make sure I know that you know what you're doing. We're also seeing that there are guys who have dyslexia, and I'm trying to work to get them help as well, so that they can properly read, because
yet now they're going to become something that you haven't. Something hits.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Look, I'd love to sugarcoat this thing for you. I'd love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things. That ain't happening. You got to get real doggish.
You've got to create a lot of different emotion to heighten your sense of awareness and focus. Like, for me, anger was good. Anger was good because it was motivating. The more I could create an enemy, the more I wanted to go out and kill those guys.
Sometimes life can really hijack your fucking mind. When that happens to you, you're all fucked up. Your goals, your ambitions, everything is out the fucking window. In life, we all go through different things. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the fuck over it. They no longer want you. Maybe you failed a test in school. You worked your ass off. Guess what? You failed the fucking test. Get over it. Move past it. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. At work, you've been working your ass off for that new promotion. You don't fucking get it, someone else does. Maybe they kiss better ass than you do. Guess what? Get over it. Life will hijack your mind if you let it. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours.
There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person. That guy, if we were living 1,000 years ago, he would be on a horse with the biggest battle axe, waiting in the back, hacking heads off, and everybody would be running. And those people have always existed. These dominators have always existed.
The only thing that you can do is win so big that all of them constantly compare themselves to you, and then you'll forget they exist. Success is the only revenge. He's like, it's not the best revenge. He's like, it's the only one. There's no other revenge. Because everything else is petty. Everything else does show that you were thinking about these people all day long, which means they win by default. He's like, all you can do is think about your goal and winning. He's like, and when you win, that's when you become so big that they shrink into irrelevance. You cast a shadow that no one even can see them behind you.
Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun don't stop. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. That sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I fucking feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna fucking shine in the morning, and at nighttime the moon gonna be there. And you gonna look up, these days gonna keep going by. So do you let the days go by and look up and you done wasted a year doing what? Or do you just pick it up? All right, well, gotta figure it out. Made some mistakes. Life goes on. Let me figure out life from this point.
It's these moments, these decisions we make on a daily basis. Do we get up early and go for a run? Do we hit the snooze button? Do we go that extra rep in the gym and our body's dying? Do we push past that? All these little things are the inches that add up to be the measure of difference between first place and forever forgotten. Second place. Huge margins. But if you look about your day and all these little moments of life, all these little opportunities are in your wheelhouse. You create them. And later in life, when you're
It's okay. Don't be all this stuff people say. You got to be balanced. To be the best in the world at what you do. It's not about being a Navy SEAL, people. The best at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of fucking energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great.
We're all writing a book. What's your book look like? What does your fucking book look like? Like your life is a book. You got a bunch of chapters in your book, but when they close that book, how good was the book? How good was your book? What was the ending to your book? If the ending to my book can be so amazing because of all that was done, not the money, all that was accomplished. The first to do, the man that did this, he caused the merger between this. Because of his commitment and growth to this, the communities were then given this, made education this, changed the way the schooling was blah, 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 gave books, gave computers, gave all of the things that can be associated with you and your existence become a part of the chapters in your book. So my drive is about my book.
There'll be times where you succeed and there are times that you fail. So wasting your time doubting whether you're going to be successful or not is pointless. It is. I mean, you just put one foot in front of the other, you control what you can't control, and then you see what the outcome is. Right? If you win, great, you're going to have to wake up the next day and do the journey over again. If you lose, it sucks, but you're going to have to wake up the next day and do the journey all over again anyway. Right? So it's really pointless to sit here and debate or have doubt or this, that, and the other. You train as hard as you can, and you step out there and you let it flow.